Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. Go ahead, hit the like, hit the share. This video, I just wanted to touch on something that I picked up a little while ago and what I was trying to get to tonight. But since I hear what I heard and I'm looking at these comments, I see people just really are not paying attention. Now, as I mentioned in another video I did, I wanted to dig into this Daddy's Girl Sex Me book for a reason. When I was brought to this book, I realized off top, a lot of people have prejudged R. Kelly based off of this book. But a lot of people don't know that this book is false. And the fact is, that fact has been out there for the public for a while. But because our people are so ready for everybody to just sit back and tell them everything, I don't feel like a lot of people care to know. Now, I was brought to this book because I was doing a little Surviving R. Kelly search. And from what I received from my search, someone put the book out and then edited the facts about the book. Because at some point, it was just anonymous author. But then when they wanted to associate it with Surviving R. Kelly, in my opinion, that's when they start pushing the narrative that this book is a story from one of the survivors. And then you had two individuals come forth and testify to the grand jury, claiming this book to be theirs, and also stating that this book was a true story based on their life. All lies. So I'm listening to people keep saying R. Kelly wouldn't still be in jail if they didn't have concrete evidence. Keep this in mind. They didn't have concrete evidence on Michael. They didn't have concrete evidence on Cosby. They had concrete evidence on this officer who accidentally stumbled into somebody else's house, but we see how that works. So I'm listening to all these people keep talking about the system ain't for us, the system ain't for us. Well, guess what? The world ain't for us either. We have to walk in spirit and address it, and that's what I'm finna do today because I was led here. So let's go. It says, it was written by one of the girls who will be on the Lifetime show Surviving R. Kelly. To prevent him and his team from going after her, she released the book anonymously as Daddy's Girl. But that's when the false narrative came into place. The book was already wrote. The book had nothing to do with Surviving R. Kelly at that time. The book was just a fictional piece of work from a lady who was just trying to make a quick buck. People want to keep judging her and saying this and that, but they're not realizing this fact. When she wrote this book, she didn't know R. Kelly personally. She didn't know any of the people associated with him personally. She wrote the book because she was doing what she wanted to do as a journalist. But people not understanding it, because you got Tim Savage who wanted to attack her credibility once he realized she wasn't going to play along with his bullshit, in my opinion. Now, the very first thing that caught me off guard as I'm searching this book is when the first one I look up is the price on it. So I'm looking like, what type of shit? Is people not peeping game? Somebody wanted to bring this book out and use it as leverage. Seems like to me. From that book, you got all these other people who came with their books. And of course, Geronda wants to be the #1 victim if ain't nobody figured it out yet. So let's look at these comments. Got to be careful of what you ask for. He's sick. This man got these women thinking he loved them. Voodoo is real. All right. This book is a quick read. If anyone remembers when the video of him with different girls was released, the trial and interviews, I believe this may be a legit account of what happened. R. Kelly needs to be singing in someone's prison right now. This was highly abusive erotica. Jesus, R. Kelly is a sick man. So if you ask me, some people wanted to attach themselves. Somebody asked, who's paying $1,500 for a book when it's online free? Well, when you think about the fact that they're trying to use it as leverage, then it'll make a little more sense. But anyways, moving on from the reviews, and I'm getting an understanding of people's perception of this book. So then I had to go to the book. And before I start, let me just point out this fact. This was a time period where tell-all books for vixens or models or anybody chasing the industry was the thing to do. And when you had people like Korean Steffens and all these other jump-offs writing their books, of course that would be inspiration to the next. Now, let's go into the opening letter of this book and let's let you see the association. It says, Daddy, I can't speak for the motives of others, but you know I love you. Through the good, bad, and indifference, you know I never intentionally try to deceive or hurt you. My greatest fear is you hearing about this and feeling as if you never meant anything to me. My greatest fear is you thinking everything we've shared was bullshit because no matter where we stand, your feelings still matter to me. Now pause. As I'm telling you, Cash did not know R. Kelly at this point. So people keep talking about, why'd she write the book? Why'd she write the book? Why do a lot of people write the stories that they write about R. Kelly? Does that mean that once they realize the bigger picture of things that are going on in the background, they can't back away from the bullshit without people automatically assuming that you should discredit their words when they have a lot to tell you if you will fucking listen and stop being so dismissive? That's where a lot of these fans get shit twisted. You can't get no damn information if you ain't asking or letting the right people talk. You ain't got to believe everything they say, common sense, but at least get their story, duh. And what kind of person seeking truth or trying to establish their credibility is going to do everything possible to alienate themselves from getting the truth? Ain't nobody going to want to talk to you when you do slick, underhanded shit, record them without their permission. All that extra shit, all that ain't necessary to follow the truth. That's why I can't take some of these clowns serious. It don't take all that to get to the truth, like I'm finna show you right now. But back to this letter. She ends with, yet I apologize in advance if you ever receive any backlash as a result of this, because God knows I've tried my hardest to protect the both of us in it. Now, if you read that book, you would be so compelled by the sincerity you perceive from this book. You feel like the author is pouring out their soul to you. But really, it's just a seed. That's all it is. I feel like this was one of the first things to put into play the things that we are seeing from Surviving R. Kelly. Because if you want to read the book, you can download it. And as I told you, you will recognize that Surviving R. Kelly was based off this book. And if you associate the fact that Surviving R. Kelly is based off of this fictional book, what does that tell you about Surviving R. Kelly and these so-called accusers? Even Lizette uses one story, for example, saying she was tied to a bed, beaten, a doctor come in, and all this extra stuff. Well, I find that interesting. I find that very interesting. The book is a complete contradiction in itself. Because let's say hypothetically it was a true story. This lady outlines the levels that women will go through to meet a celebrity. That's what I got from the book. The things that young women are willing to do to meet celebrities. And that includes lying about your age and doing a whole lot of groupie type behaviors. Does that account for abuse? So of course, after reading the reviews, reading the book, I'm like, what the fuck? And then when I get to realizing that Jerhonda Pace is trying to take credit for said book, among other people, that's when my antennas start raising. Because if you go to another video I did about Jerhonda Pace, and I'm talking about her book, well, the clips that they sent to me was purposely put in place to associate Jerhonda Pace with that book, in my opinion. She also started to associate herself with being on the sex tape. My antennas started going up. So, once I figure out the author of the book, Cash Jones, I started watching her page. And true enough, I'm watching everybody's page. Because like I said, it's multiple people trying to claim this book. So I got to keep my eyes on every fucking body. But nonetheless, when I peep the fact that Cash has been on her platform for the last year, I believe, speaking out, and then I get on YouTube and I see all these videos that would discredit her, that just made my antennas go up. Yep. If you just follow the way she talks, it would be evident the book's influence. People keep talking about this "he made me call him daddy" thing. I'm telling you, as you see on her text, that's a common thing. And it's funny, the people like the Savages wanted to twist those facts to create an emotional response. Going back to the book's description, before it was associated with Surviving R. Kelly, the description went like this. From the age of 4, the author describes the undying passion she felt for the superstar. Together with her cousin at age 16, she creates a plan to find R. Kelly and make him fall in love with her. So she creates a plan in this book to find R. Kelly and make him fall in love with her. But R. Kelly is being marketed as the predator. With success, the author gains the celebrity's attention at a show. When they make plans to meet again upon one of their first encounters, he coerces her. Okay, baby girl, but do me a favor. Always call me daddy. That's that seed. See, as she's writing this book, whether she's know it or not, she's planting all these seeds that will be used and manipulated for later use. Now, I'm hearing people keep saying Tim Savage brought cash to R. Kelly. Why do they say that? Because that's what Tim Savage is putting out there. And it's mighty funny how people want to dismiss people like Cash because they're the op, they say. But they hang on every fucking word Tim Savage and Angelo say. Make that make sense. It's funny how people conveniently want to run with certain people depending on whether it fits their narrative or not, instead of following the truth. The truth is going to speak for itself. Period. So through following the book, then I'm tipped off to a whole lot of other businesses. And if you go to the indictment, you will notice that RSK Enterprises is included as part of this racketeering scheme. So again, follow the drops. Follow the drops. This was all planned. So people knew on this little tour, keep up. We already know there were people inside the camp. But you can't just pick out random people and decide to target them. No, you have to follow the fucking facts as they are laid out. So as I follow the facts, I found this company. I found 3 other companies that were operated under R. Kelly's name. But guess what? R. Kelly's not signed on the paperwork. Tell you that. This company was established in 2017. Coincidence? According to the search, it says RSK Enterprises is a firm founded by Sam Corey, whose skills include very deep and broad operating management, and has acquired and worked with underperforming businesses and companies in distress. Red flags. Why would Cash write the book? Well, the same reason why this person, Jamila Lumix, linked up with Jim Derogatis, and they spent so many years focusing on R. Kelly, putting these stories out. Whether they're true or not, they never bothered to get to the bottom of that. They just wanted the stories. But let's fast forward a little bit. Because if you go back a couple months, Tim Savage and Clary have been at odds for a while. And I've just been watching it all play out. I feel like Tim Savage began intimidating Angelo. However he enticed him to get on board with taking down R. Kelly, he did it. And as we watch Angelo today act like he's so sorrowful, he's not going to participate, he's not going to lie on this other man. Well, you were fine with this plot against R. Kelly, all because you wanted a fucking song from him. So then we see Angelo on his social media throwing shots. Every time he plants a story, he'll go to his social media and throw a shot. So this shot was saying, if you are a parent that is involved in the R. Kelly case and you have not talked to the FBI, do not come for the Savages or the Clarys. We are the only parents that have talked to the authorities about kids and other Atlanta. So my red flags start going up. They're the only 2 parents, huh? What about Michelle? What about all these other victims? Where are their parents? So he's basically saying that only his 2 daughters are real victims because they're the only 2 parents that ran to the FBI when things didn't go like they wanted to go. in the same breath that he will plant these stories to people like The Blast, he will then go back and try to promote his little funky ass collection. But people don't understand how these stories are planted. Planted. That don't mean they're necessarily true. Because the way I see it, I come across an article today and I don't like the way it's set up. But I'll get to that. Let me stick to this point. But anyway, this is why I feel like another reason people started to believe Tim Savage brought in Cash Jones. But that's not true. Let me show you. So when I realized some of these trolls that were coming at me were riding hard for Geronda, and then I already know I had my little clash with Geronda on Facebook, I already knew where they're trying to shift this narrative and make Geronda the focal point, not Rashonda. Who's cooperating here, Rashonda or Geronda? All right, so fast forward. Remember when I told y'all about my questions about Julius Darrington? It's the reason why I have those questions. Because come to find out, he's the one who introduced Cash Jones to the R. Kelly camp, not Tim Savage. Things that make you go, And then from there, I come to find out Mr. Julius has a whole lot of publishing credits for R. Kelly. His old stuff, his new stuff. He got the publishing. And the I Admit song people want to keep referencing. I signed over my publishing, but I want it back, but they won't do it. That's been the problem, like I've been saying. Follow the money. Because I feel like people have been exploiting him from the beginning of his career. So to sit here and start in the middle of his career and start pointing fingers is retarded. Go all the way back. Everybody has been plotting against R. Kelly. Am I finna sit here and try to skip to get to the story that you want? No, I have to follow the truth that I see. And what I see is that all these people, all these celebrities are quiet for a reason. So if we take the time and just do our due diligence, I can't get the word out. But if we do our due diligence and take the time and just lay out the facts, don't you think it would be easier to pass this information on to somebody and have the proper people subpoenaed in court instead of getting on YouTube trying to play a motherfucking investigator, recording everybody motherfucking call and shit, and possibly contaminating this case? All the questions I'm hearing people ask Cash Jones, for example, you got to realize this is a fucking federal investigation. And it's just certain facts that are not going to get out until the court proceeds. So to be sitting here mad at certain individuals because they're not moving the way you want them to move, so now you want to make them a target instead of focusing on the people who were there, who can be witnesses, who can help this case. And since I see Selena Johnson with a voice, she's a character witness. She's never saying anything. Even back in 2015, when you had Ruby Christie and all these people talking about the Aaliyah biopic, why didn't they shut that shit down? Because they didn't care enough, seems like to me. This seems to be his best friend, and people keep saying he hasn't spoken out. Well, if you go and look through all his tweets, like I went all the way back to 2013, 2015. But if you go all the way back, you will recognize that that's another witness that could be subpoenaed. Jerhonda Pace brought him into the story, and according to him, she lied. So regardless of where she met him, whether it was a tattoo shop, a party, wherever she met him, he can discredit Jerhonda Pace, period. But nobody's talking about getting him subpoenaed. All we want to do is keep bashing people. All these celebrities are sitting back idle because they know what's going on, if you ask me. But back to Julius. When you're looking at this for what it is, that it's all about trying to get the money, then you will start to recognize, ask some of the right questions. Who are holding this man's publishings? People keep saying he got all these royalties coming in, but they don't recognize, like, the way the business set up, there's so many different aspects of royalties and publishing and all that other stuff. And if a person is openly admitting to you that he signed some janky documents, he signed over his rights, he's dyslexic, and all his fans are running with the narrative, he signed over his rights because he married Aaliyah. Well, these are the type of facts y'all have let go unchecked all these years, but then want to sit here and be fucking mad at everybody within R. Kelly's camp. For all you know, these people could already be subpoenaed. But no, some of these people are intentionally getting online to alienate these people, seems like to me. Who would want to? What if a person did participate in a scam and have a change of heart and they want to help, but people keep attacking them? Who would want to help on that note? At the end of the day, I'm questioning every fucking body, and definitely this Julius person. And let me show you why. So in 1998, R. Kelly established Rockland Records, and the parent company was Interscope. So the problem is that he started this, distanced himself away from Barry, and was trying to figure out ways to maximize his earnings, of course, like we see today. But the thing is, when you got greedy people behind you and you have brought in money, so that money is, in a sense, connected to you, that may cause problems for your so-called management, especially if he has sold off your publishing unbeknownst to you. If you go back to my video on Barry Hankerson, there's a breakdown there. But as I told you, Toni Braxton is one of the many people who sued him. And he was not charged with racketeering with all his shady business practicing. Why? And how is it possible that this Julius person is holding the publishing to Toni Braxton's music? People are running with these false narratives. Why is Cash just now speaking out? She's just trying to cover her own butt. Well, let's just say hypothetically that's how you feel. Have you ever heard the phrase, you get more with honey than with vinegar? So again, why would you expect, you sit here and tell yourself that she has information that could help R. Kelly, but then you want to sit here and bash her and talk shit about her online? Do you think that would entice her to want to help? When if you go to her page and let her page speak to you, it will tell you she's been speaking out. She's been saying things like, I mean, did y'all really think y'all were going to get away with this forever? Using those girls as an excuse to get out here lying for money, trying to force someone to claim a book damaging this man because you don't want the world to know it's fiction. So again, she already told everybody it's fiction, but nobody promoted that. Maybe if some of these fans had pushed that message that this book was false, That would have been a head start instead of being all mad about the book being false, not being aware when the book was wrote. She didn't know the man. I feel like she was used and brought in simply because she wrote the book. And they felt like she would be the perfect mole, as y'all keep saying, to initiate their plan. I'm not here to address all the gossip around her name, but I'm just here to point out the facts. She is a witness, and it's certain things she's not going to be able to explain to y'all. It has to play out in court. So I would really hope some of you would wake up and realize this is a federal case. Greenberg is not supposed to be getting on any platform answering all y'all questions, and then when he don't answer y'all questions, y'all start saying he need another attorney. Don't you dumb bats know that he has client confidentiality? He really ain't supposed to be talking to nobody but his client. So to be sitting here recording him and doing all this other shit seems like to me people are intentionally trying to sabotage the truth while they hiding with that bullshit. Even though Cash has been on her page for the past year calling them out, most people didn't even come back to her until Angelo mentioned her name again, in which I included it on the video where they were fighting on Instagram last week. But that's just it. If you have been paying attention, can't nobody sit here and tell you the stuff that I'm telling you. You should already know this. They have been beefing from beginning. Let me just show you where it started to go left.
Year-old Aaliyah. First stop, Saks. Aaliyah is a veteran of the music scene. At 14, her premier solo project, Age Ain't Nothing But a Number, achieved platinum status with hits back and forth. And At Your Best You Are Loved, which catapulted her to the top of the Miss R&B Diva list, thus paving the way for her recently released double platinum album, One in a Million. In today's music industry, where image is everything, Aaliyah mixes her sex appeal with a playful tomboy twist, creating a look that's all her own.
I watch a lot of the fashion shows, a lot of the runway models, and see what's the next thing happening, and then intertwine that with what I'm doing. Image goes hand in hand with the music, and that's how people identify you. You know, they separate you knowing your music and knowing your style and your image. So that's why it takes me a while to put things together, especially if I'm doing a dressy thing rather than a sporty thing. Because what you see here is really me, the baggy jeans and skull caps and everything. So when I'm doing a dressy thing, I've got to still remain in my image. So it takes me a while to put something really good together that still looks like Aaliyah.
But there is a real difference between the catwalk and life.
Can you sit down in the jeans?
Very elegant sit down there. Just kind of stretch out.
Just kind of stretch. You have to kind of slap. It's kind of be kind of cool. Can't sit up. Just
right.
In the beginning, out of the chair, gotta kind of come up like that. Ready? Aaliyah? Uh-oh. Well, look at that. That coat is mad. I'm feeling the coat. The coat is off the rocker. This is a little different for me. I'm not liking the pants.
Really?
Actually, you know, it's cute, but it's
still not there yet.
Yeah, I'm not there yet. You know what I think it's time for? April, I think it's time to go to Nike Town.
Nike Town.
I really do. But I do like the coat. I may have to snap this coat.
So we went looking for something a little more comfortable.
Okay, you're 18. You already went to your prom. Is it possible at all to have a relationship on the road? I would say it's possible. I just don't have one. I don't have one right now. I don't have a boyfriend. And I can't say I'm really looking. I think it'll come along at the right time. I have a lot of friends, and when that guy comes along, I'll know it, he'll know it, and then it'll happen. But I am really busy with the career and the fact that I'm getting ready to go back to school, so I just see how it works out.
3 years ago, there was this terrible rumor out. What is the deal with you and R. Kelly? Are you all married or not?
No, I'm not married. Robert's doing his thing, I'm doing my thing. He's a great producer, great artist, who I do admire, and there's nothing.
Isn't the narrative that Aaliyah hated R. Kelly, wouldn't speak his name?
We are here.
So I just included that real quick to give you an idea for y'all on the short bus. Why would somebody write this book? Well, think about it. All the scandal that was going on, people capitalizing off the scandal instead of acting on it. If people really felt like he married this girl, why did nobody act on it? It was just scandalous. People wanted to write about it. People wanted to talk about it. That's what happened.
Man, Gail said she wanted to come out. Low come to find out that we did more research. Come to find out 18. It was a week before her birthday. So clear that up. She was 18. What I'm saying is she come from. I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm gonna straighten this up. Because when I told people that she was 19, she actually was 18. She met him. Low come to find out that we did more research. Come to find out 18. It was a week before her birthday. So clear that up. She was 18.
So it's funny, people didn't peep game. When Tim Savage them got mad at Lifetime, they wanted to start exposing the lies put in Lifetime. But if you expose the lies in Lifetime, you expose the book too, don't you?
You know what I'm saying? You got all these basketball players, they want to do these movements. We're going to do all these movements right now. LA doing one of the biggest movements right now in our history. So why the next movement can't be for the girls? Right. You know, I don't want to put.
Remember, they were trying to compare these two dum-dums to Malcolm and Martin Luther King. The fucking, what kind of shit is that? I don't know, but just think back on it. I'm refreshing your memory. Because people out here, I'm looking at these comments, I'm seeing these fans attack Cash again. Y'all act like people can't have a change of heart. Y'all act like people can't make a mistake and try to rectify that mistake. But the problem is you can't keep attacking people and think they want to fucking help. Don't make no sense. Because the truth is out there. And they've been exposing that. And all we got to do is get all these witnesses on the stand if they haven't already been subpoenaed. Again, we don't know if they have or have not. So sitting out here tainting the case and throwing out speculations and letting the blogs run wild with it is not productive.
The nation out there, but brother, all these private meetings that's happening in Chicago, right there with the nation at, man. I don't see them sitting there pulling up on this man and pulling his coat for real and sitting.
So now he's bringing up the Nation of Islam. And if you go to his page, you will recognize the fact that he was doing a whole lot of Queen, Black Queen, all this Nation of Islam thing. Again, y'all keep talking about he was set up from the beginning. Well, fucking duh. The point is, you gotta let the story fucking play out. Duh.
Down and tell them, man, this ain't right. How can you sit there and you speak as a nation, brother, of change, and you got fathers that's chasing their children right here in the United States, right in your backyard in Chicago, and I ain't got a phone call.
But y'all chasing y'all kids, but he just said, I made a mistake. She wasn't 17, she was 18. Da. So again, you told the public that R. Kelly is a pedophile because he had a relationship with your daughter at the age of 17. Now you coming back and saying she wasn't 17, she was older than that, and 17 is the legal age of consent. So again, all these people have trapped themselves in lies. They could be held accountable for all that.
How we got people like Me Too movement who played a role to get part of a goddamn TV series to be their name affiliated with it, and I ain't get a phone call. Even did you from Tanya Burke. So let's stop making people false heroes.
Oh, so now Dream and all them ain't heroes no more because they sold y'all dumbass a dream and told y'all, hey, come on and do this and we gonna get a bag. But guess what? They figured out a way to cut y'all monkey ass out the bag. Excuse me for the reference, but this is some real monkey shit. Like, who in the fuck does this? They want to sit here and keep getting on their platform and justifying the shit that they told us. You can't untell us the shit you already told us.
And I'm not saying that about anybody, because not the nation, because I know Minister Farrakhan, he definitely spoke. I think he had a private meeting with him. Nobody really know what the depths of the meeting went, but I know he did have a meeting with him. But these other ones that was a part of Lifetime and all this shit,
and speaking of, it's a little ironic he want to speak on the Nation of Islam when, according to, if you do a little digging, people are saying the Nation of Islam was behind Malcolm X assassination. They tell you right there in history how they use your own people to assassinate you and then want to sit here and make you look like the fucking fool. And they fell for it with this Surviving R. Kelly. Tim wanted the credit for bringing in cash, even saying that she was his publicist, lying to Lifetime.
We need them to step up and them to act like they playing a platform. All we doing is playing on each other as black people. That's it. For fame and fortune. That's it. I want to say this though, and I don't mean to cut you off.
It's funny. It's funny he just said that, but what are they doing? Exploiting their daughters for fame and fortune. And stay tuned, because I'm going to also do a breakdown on these two. And I'm going to give you a full timeline of their bullshit, in which they've been going back and forth. Last week, last month, 2 months ago, that's what they do. Every time Angelo is pulled into Tim Savage's lies, Angelo gets a little mad, but he failed to realize he put himself in this position. Why? Because he wanted a fucking song from R. Kelly.
I got to see. I see Tasha Unwind on it. I see you a good person. I want to see all these other bloggers that's on here. I want you to take what I'm going to say to you right now. Right now. You got a big platform. I really need for you to hear me clearly. I need everyone who said what happened on that Lifetime documentary, hold them accountable. Hold Lifetime.
Wait a minute. Weren't you on Lifetime? Oh, yeah. So we gonna hold your motherfucking ass accountable too, bro. The fuck?
Accountable. Hold Blue and Mary accountable. Hold these people accountable to make sure these people can go on Lifetime and say what they said happened. Hold these people accountable. Make sure they talk to Kim Fox. Make sure they talk to Carl Howard. Make sure they talk to Homeland Security. Make sure they.
So people be wondering why Tasha K knew all this, knew all that, because she's friends with Tim Savage. A couple other bloggers are friends with them, so you can understand why they spit out the narrative they did. But you see, one blogger in particular is starting to realize the error in her ways and how she was used and motherfucking manipulated. And now a man is rotting in jail, in prison, because these parents wanted things to go their way and could not accept that their adult daughters had moved on with their life. So they got behind this whole plan to take down R. Kelly. Are they the masterminds? Fuck no. But they played their role. Believe that.
To anybody they know, ask a man to kind of point me in the right direction, to at least locate my daughter. Because even though, as everybody know, he locked up.
Huh? Mr. Mute R. Kelly. Again, just be watching these people lives. Look at the people commenting and start connecting the dots. Because if you recall, and the reason why I brought up Don, which offended a lot of people, because Don and Julius, they had their hand in it, if you ask me. If you ask me. Because if you think about it, when Ashanti come out and they got that Baby Girl 87, 97 page, they had a whole list of so-called enablers. I feel like that was a way, yet again, like Tim Savage likes to do, try to intimidate people. But yet they want to keep trying to say R. Kelly has to stay in jail because he's intimidating people. But what have we seen the Clarys, the Savages do on the internet ever since they got on Lifetime, lying to people?
I'm still looking for my daughter. She's not located right now. So I'm up here now. And if anybody know, man, it would be deeply appreciated.
Who do you see on there? Tia on TV. Tia on TV. Fox News. Again. Oh, R. Kelly was set up. Duh.
To give me whatever information to kind of locate her.
So then, this is just how wishy-washy they is. He did all this trying to play his role like he was doing. But what made him mad is when the Savages keep throwing shots at him on social media. Like even with the FBI post, people fail to realize Angelo Clary did not want to publicly come out. He just wanted to flex some muscles behind the scene and try to force R. Kelly into whatever he wanted, the song, whatever it is. But at the end of the day, now he's regretting what he's doing. And it's funny, he wants to speak out for Mason and say that Mason didn't threaten Tim Savage, but he don't want to speak out for R. Kelly, knowing that that man was not targeting underage girls. But I'll break that down also, because I got about 5 more videos I'm ready to package on up for you.
Get out of it. Believe that one. Believe that one. Now, past that one, I apologize to everybody that know me for a whole different breed and know my platform and trying to help these women and keep my young kings at work. But I'm telling you, sometimes with all this pressure, this shit get explosive when you got a fucking fat fuckboy that's from your city that try to run and show out, trying to get likes and all this stuff. His dumb ass call me up and try to get with Team Truth. And this shit come from them twin sisters, them fucking white girls, the twin sisters that want to play these dumb ass games. They want to play. The smart thing about them though, they need to win the fucking Get Out. Because their background can't come out and all that shit from the time they was there that they don't want to.
Is y'all listening? R. Kelly was set up. Pay attention. Everybody was in on the setup. Some people want to wash their hands because it's gotten a little too fucking far. But fuck all that. We on Team Truth over here. Fuck his Team Truth. We on the real Team Truth over here.
Tell people when they want to sit there and do a live, they need to tell you the real lie about what they did when they was with their fucking R. Kelly time. Like if you ain't coming talking about you slept with the kids and you was getting fucked by him and you did this to that, then don't get on here lying to fucking people. Stop trying to get people to follow y'all motherfuckers and be a part of something if you ain't gonna get the truth. I'm a goddamn father. That's my interest in this. I don't give a fuck what you think how my fucking daughter got there. She there. The difference is my daughter was 17 years old. My beef.
17 years old. Haven't we been talking about that? So again, that just lets me come back to the point. More people were manipulated with this child predator bullshit because of the 17 comments, but never considered that 17 is the age of consent. So even if he did partake in a relationship with the girl, which I don't believe, she's of age of consent. But what y'all fail to look at is that when people are working together, we see it all the time in Hollywood. All these people linking up, especially after they work together. So you don't think it's possible that after working with the person, they take things to another level? So does it automatically mean that just because she met him at this age, because her father introduced her, Does that mean he was sleeping with her when he met her? That just show how crazy our minds are. We'll be quick to associate him sleeping with her, meeting her at that young age. But we'll never call out all these other people like Diddy, like Weinstein, like Spacey, like all these people, Charlie Sheen, all these people that have been called out for inappropriate behavior. But to wrap up this video, because I'm also still going to do my interview, but it just bothered me the way I'm seeing people coming at Cash. So I'm going to give you a little information, not gossip, so you could at least try to change the way you moving. Even if you don't like her, you feel like she's a mole, whatever the case may be, she's a witness. She can be subpoenaed if she hasn't been. Do you really want to fuck that up? So when I saw the bullshit playing out, I just went on and let her know. Because again, if we want the truth to come out, we're going to have to confront these uncomfortable conversations. The problem some of y'all need to recognize is how to fucking talk to people. Some of y'all expect a whole lot, but y'all attitude is not up to par. Believe that. And shout out to Phases for snapping this interview. It was impromptu. I do believe they're going to sit down again and get things more organized because people want more definitive answers. But just keep this in mind. Some of the questions y'all asking, y'all need to recognize they will be answered in the court proceedings, not on fucking YouTube. So I just wanted to give her feedback at the end of this video so you can understand her point of view. Because some of you may have tuned in to the live like I did. And when you first approached it, you would be like, whoa, 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 what's going on? Why is she screaming? What's wrong with her? Something, Well, just think of it like this. If you were trying to do the right thing, you don't know who to trust. Everybody's moving funny. You don't know who you could talk to. Why are y'all being so critical on her decisions when you don't know what she's done, when you haven't watched her the past year speaking out against the Clarys and the Savages? But all you can do is sit in these groups and talk about what you think and what you heard. Like you don't realize some of these stories you heard were put there for those reasons. But I'm gonna let Cash defend herself because as we know, I don't get in nobody's shit. I'm here for the truth. And as you could imagine, if you're trying to rectify a bad choice you made in life and people keep bringing it up and coming at you, you might not always be so positive and deliver a positive message. But if you pay attention and listen to her tell her story, you can understand, like I've said, it's been a plan from the jump. And her being used was strategic. You keep having these people pop up telling you they're strategical. They do all this, they do all that, but you don't realize all these plays were put into position from the fake marriage certificate to the transference of all his publishing to putting him in jail to stealing all his music and nobody talking about it to this Julius guy coming back talking about he has this new inspiration. He's finna start unreleasing music. Well, if I was y'all, I'd keep my eye on that music and make sure it don't sound like no R. Kelly cuts, because that's what I'm thinking right about now. Can I prove it? No, but it's just mighty fucking coincidental. So this is my point. When I come to my opinion off of the things I find, that's not saying this is the law. This is what happened, word for word. I'm giving you my damn opinion based off what I've seen. And if some of y'all are too slow to recognize that, y'all need to stop watching my videos. Because what you're not going to do is be telling me what I need to be doing, who I need to be focusing on, if you ain't trying to help with that process. Okay?
That's you overhearing some shit.
Right.
And that's even whatever was going on at that time. Because so much shit happened with the situation. That shit going on all day, every day. Phone bringing off the hook. This going on, that's going on. You don't know who, what, or whatever else.
was going to say there were a few points, and so basically, I want to talk about. It's not just who. I guess somebody just had a live that you were listening to tonight, but there are other people that had dropped some things about you too. So I want to talk about it all across the board. You know, what's going on with you? Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so let's talk about it. Whatever you want to put out here is I'm giving you free reign. I want to hear you talk because it's your truth, and only you can tell it the way you know. Only you can tell your story like you know that like you can tell it.
Right, because I'm the person who experienced it, not whoever the fuck this bitch is. They got a whole fucking narrative about me. That shit, I'm telling you, I ain't built for this shit. Because I'm not no motherfucking media person. You know, like I'm not an in front of the camera media type person. Let me say that. So it's just like a whole public figure, people goddamn having comments and opinions and shit. I know it's gonna come, but it kinda irritates the fuck out of me. And then to say, oh, I don't trust her. I don't this and this and that, blah blah. And she said, and now she's asking us to forgive. This I ain't asking. No, hold up. Let me back that up. Because my voice being a little bit hoarse. Let me say that again. Bitch, because I hope she watches this shit. I ain't asking no motherfucking body to forgive me for shit. I got the forgiveness of who the fuck matters. I don't give a flying 45 fuck how none of y'all motherfuckers feel about me. And let's get that shit right motherfucking front. This shit don't got nothing to do with y'all motherfuckers. It got to do with him. You don't know what the fuck you motherfuckers talking about, trying to piece together a motherfucking story, or whatever fake ass motherfucking information somebody emailed your ass to. 9 times out of 10, I know who the fuck did that. Because it's the same motherfucker that goes around for all of these blogs leaking fake ass shit. Because they're behind the scenes.
Did y'all catch that? The same thing that's been coming out all this time. I already told y'all the person behind all these goddamn tabloids is Tim Savage. And then every time they don't release the information the way he wants it released, then it's fake news. Oh, they lying and all this and that. Just peep game.
One of the people that's supposed to be in his motherfucking camp, that's supposed to give a fuck, that really don't, and just be spinning shit all kinds of ways, and y'all dumb enough to fucking fall for some shit. The bitch that says things.
Sound like Don to me. Everybody keep wanting to defend Don, but they don't want to call him out for some of the problematic things he said. Everybody just want to keep focusing on certain individuals. Why? Focus on every fucking body. Everybody had their hands in this takedown.
Never met Rob. Don't know him. They actually got the nerve to your whole fucking channel talking about Avril and Joy are friends. They never had a threesome with each other. They sleep with R. Kelly. Individual. How the fuck you know what the fuck they do in their bedroom, bitch? I don't like hoes like that, man.
Well,
I don't like it. I can't get down with it. I can't fuck with it, period. Because I'm not that type of bitch. I ain't built like that. So my whole thing is, I ain't asked nobody for no fucking forgiveness. So bitch, if you don't be on a platform, you don't fucking speak about me, how address that shit accordingly and correct. Open your motherfucking ears, bitch, and listen to what the fuck I did say. How about that? I didn't ask not one motherfucking person, not a one, not a fucking two, not nobody. I didn't ask nobody to fucking forgive me. You don't gotta rock with me. You ain't gotta fuck with me. You ain't gotta like me. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. At the end of the day, you know why that nigga forgave me? Because at that motherfucking point, after I had seen what the fuck I seen from that side, the point was, I was there. And I was trying to motherfucking help at that point. You don't know what the fuck I done contributed to take that out the fucking mob. So bitch, point the fuck damn it. I ain't gonna be able to do this.
yeah, I know. I understand. I just wanted.
And it's funny, they are pushing this girl to just want to back away. And maybe that's what they want to do. You got people trying to run her off the road and put out fake stories talking about his R. Kelly goons. And then you got the so-called fans who are not recognizing she is a vital part. She was there. She can help. And they are pushing her to the side like they do. Then they want to get out here and talk about, oh, don't nobody want to fool with me because I don't follow the crowd. No, motherfucker, nobody wants to fool with you because you don't fucking listen. Period.
You
Like,
Yeah.
I know this is going to get a bit much for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm not that person.
Right.
I'm not that person that's supposed to sit here and be fucking cordial and people saying this and saying that, and I'm just like, oh, well, you know, she's entitled to fuck that hoe and her opinion. That's how the fuck I roll. That's how the fuck I feel.
Well, listen.
So straight like that, if y'all want to see the rest of that video, you can get her full opinion. I just wanted to give a little bit so you can see the damage you're doing when you think you're helping, sitting on the internet acting like you know every fucking thing. Y'all sitting over here talking about, should we forgive her? Who the fuck cares whether you forgive her or not? As I pointed out to you, when she wrote the book, she didn't know R. Kelly. So what are you talking about? Make the shit y'all make it make sense when y'all speak. Or don't say nothing at all, because you are the problem. Everybody want to voice their damn opinion, but don't nobody want to accept constructive feedback. Don't nobody want to hear when, hey, you may be moving a little bit questionable. But then again, maybe the way some of these people are moving is intentional. So with that being said, I wanted to just put this video out to put it on your mind before I do my interview with her. I'm still jotting down questions. If you have legitimate questions that will not jeopardize this case that you really want to know, such as I ain't heard nobody ask her who commissioned you to write this book? Who paid you to write this book? Because people want to keep playing this game, R. Kelly preys upon disadvantaged women. No, all these networks, all these people are capitalizing off of these women who are in a financial bind, who will do what is necessary to take care of their priorities. So with that being said, who are you to judge? Tell me. Stay tuned. It's about to get real interesting around here. Because now we getting somewhere. Tim Savage did not introduce Cash Jones to the R. Kelly camp. Julius, the AR rep, did. Huh? Talk about that. Have a good day.